Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome in. In this one, I wanted to really react to a little video clip. My buddy just sent it over to me. I haven't checked it out yet, but it's Daniel Jeremiah with Rich Eisen here, and the title is Daniel Jeremiah on Zach Wilson's Jets future and Justin Fields' improving game. Okay, so I'm actually pretty excited for this because I know Daniel Jeremiah pretty much praises every single thing the Jets do. Him and Joe Douglas go way back. They're boys. I mean, it really seems like Daniel Jeremiah is pretty much a Jets fan at this point, and he's been a huge supporter of Zach Wilson since the BYU days, so I'm really excited to check this thing out. Let's dive in.
I'm just going to walk in the front door, and I know that you have a relationship with the general manager there. No, seriously, like... Is Zach Wilson not the guy? Because, I mean, he had his reset.
Yeah.
And he made some eye poppers yesterday, okay? He actually connected with Elijah Moore. I mean, that actually happened. He made some eye poppers. But the layups, man, he just doesn't make them. Yeah. And they kill you coming away on 2nd and 10 with nothing when, Berrios is wide open to his right, deep in his own end. I mean, those are the things that kill him. And looks like he's going to get one more shot here. National television, Thursday Night Football against Jacksonville. Mm-hmm. Is he the guy? Is Zach Wilson the guy?
I don't know that it's a great fit right now with what they're trying to do. I think he is if you're going to use a baseball reference, I think he's a home run hitter who's going to have a low batting average. And there's certain baseball teams that play with those types of players and have success, and there's other teams that want you to put the ball in play.
I got to stop it for one quick sec. First of all, I was not expecting that answer. And then secondly, what did Jeremiah mean when he said, what was it? He didn't know if it's a great fit, like with Zach kind of alluding to the offensive scheme. I mean, I felt like that was one of Zach Wilson's biggest selling points coming out of BYU. Everybody thought that Zach Wilson would be a perfect fit for this exact scheme. I mean, you look at some of the stuff that Jeff Grimes was doing at BYU with the quick outs, always having options, crossing in front of Zach Wilson's face, the pre-snap motion, quick passing. I felt like there was a lot, even in Zach Wilson's own words. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, before the draft, he was asked the question in an interview, like, "Hey, what offense do you see yourself in? What pro offense do you think benefits your skill set?" And in Wilson's own words, he said the San Francisco 49ers. And as we all know, Saleh, LaFleur, if they came from San Francisco, they're running the same schemes. I mean, I'm stunned. I agree with Daniel when he talked a little bit about the baseball analogy. Zach is more of a home run hitter. When we think about the wow plays, when we watch the highlights, when we look at when Zach Wilson really is peaked, with his time with the Jets or during his time with the Jets, it's during those kill shots. It's when Zach Wilson is extending the play to his right and delivers a bomb down the field, or scampers around to his left and throws like a crossbody type of sidearm pass, and it's like, what, 3 quarterbacks in the NFL can make that throw. Those are awesome moments, but I feel like everybody, Jets fans, draft analysts, BYU fans, everybody knew Zach Wilson could do that stuff back in college. Pro day throw aside, like even actually, you know what? Let me try to pull up a combine scouting report on Zach. Okay, so this report was done by Lance Zierlein of the NFL Network, and when I scroll down to strengths here, outstanding 11-1 TD to INT ratio. So in other words, he makes good decisions with the football. He takes care of the football, offers potential as a full field reader. Obviously, enormous jump in production and play quality in 2020. Arm looks great. Slick ball handler in the quick game and the RPOs. He's twitchy. He can be accurate working off platform. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Deep and intermediate accuracy, 54 and 68% according to PFF, which is outstanding. He's an athletic play extender with a big play mindset outside the pocket. He has mobility to keep defenses honest. And then when I scroll down to weaknesses here, level of competition allowed for the bombs away mindset in 2020. Carries ball down by waist as a pocket scanner, has tendency to overstride and sail throws at times. Hero ball needs to be dialed back a little bit. Passed up on the easy throw to make the harder throw. Will baby throws forcing open receivers to break stride. I mean, I don't want to sit here and pretend like we didn't know that Zach Wilson was this type of player. I mean, everybody knew the arm strength, the mobility, the highlights back at BYU. Everybody knew that Zach could connect down the field, and that's really his bread and butter. But at the same time, the offense really gave Zach opportunities in the short passing game, and he was super successful. And again, going back to Zach's own words, I don't think he's just going to throw out the 49ers, handpick, out of all the teams in the NFL, handpick one and highlight them and say, this is the best offense for me. So it's a little confusing here that that quote, I don't know if it's a great fit. I don't know. It just does not sit well with me. I think Zach Wilson coming out of BYU, the Jets knew exactly what they were getting. They passed up on Mac Jones. They passed up on Justin Fields. They passed up on Trey Lance. They didn't really they put all their eggs in one basket, and that was Zach Wilson. They even, announced him the starting quarterback for week 1. They didn't bring in a veteran option. They just started his rookie season with Mike White and James Morgan, behind Zach. I felt like the Jets knew exactly what they were kind of getting here. But let's move on and see how it plays out.
Offense that's a rhythm, timing-based offense.
Well, then why draft him? Honestly,
that's an interesting question of just in terms of, are you going to... And sometimes you might think you have one thing, and then when you get him in your building, Rich, and you realize, okay, maybe his strength isn't in this area, it's in that area. Then you've got to shift and change and mold around him, as opposed to asking him to shift and change and mold around you.
Right.
But this is a team that I think he's got a chance. I still do. I think he has a chance to be a successful player, provided he has a good run game. It's play action, it's shots. You're not going to have a 70% completion percentage, but you're going to have chunk plays. His last 2 starts, Rich, I think they've had 50 rushing yards and 56 rushing yards. They can't run the ball at all. They continue to run the ball on first down and get nothing. So you're putting him in long yardage situations where the windows get a little tighter. Everybody knows you're throwing the football, and he's not an efficiently accurate quarterback. So it hasn't been great. That being said, they still have a timeout left, in case you didn't know from yesterday.
I know that. That they got wound up with all timeouts left after the Lions hit them with that 51-yarder.
Yeah.
They had all their timeouts left and wound up with a 58-yard field goal as their final last.
Even if you haven't, there was at least 20
pocket.
seconds that they should have had more. And where you are, 20 seconds, that's a 10-yard completion that all of a sudden turns into a 48-yard field goal. And maybe we're having a little bit more nuanced discussion of, okay, he missed some layups, the little swing pass, the one to Berrios. But man, he made 4 or 5 huge throws. He drove him down the field. They tie the game. This wasn't meant to be. Need to get Quinnen Williams back, by the way, too.
Of course.
Yeah.
You want to talk about injuries. Elijah Vera Tucker, and name me a bigger injury on the year than Breece Hall.
Yeah.
Name me another injury in the NFL. The only one that you can maybe put where it changed the dynamic is Tampa's center. Honestly,
Jensen.
Jensen goes down right at the outset. Name me another.
They were winning games,
Jets
man.
don't get.
Yeah, so I agree with Rich here. The Jets definitely are banged up, and once AVT and Breece Hall went out, and by the way, Corey Davis has been dealing with some stuff. He's missed, he's missed some time for sure. But the offense has definitely changed with these absences. But overall, I would like to think that the Jets organization there were so many options at the quarterback position that offseason, and the Jets handpicked Zach Wilson with the 2nd overall pick, passing up on everybody else. And this includes, the free agent quarterbacks, the quarterbacks that were traded and whatnot. I mean, it was clear Zach was Joe Douglas's guy. Zach was the option that the Jets were going to move forward with. To hear Daniel say, maybe he's not the guy once he gets in your building. Does Jeremiah know something that we don't? Again, I do know he is pretty close with Joe Douglas here. And look, no GM is perfect. I get that. If it was a simple science, everybody would be a general manager. Nobody would, draft busts. I get that completely. But it's just strange. I do agree with Jeremiah. I don't think Wilson's career is completely done. I don't think it's over with. He definitely still has the talent. We see the flash throws. For me, the biggest thing is just the consistency. Can we just get off this roller coaster ride where it's like incredible highlight type of throw and then comes back with just a horrid overthrow? or, an interception just lofted in the air, or a pass where, his lower body and his upper body aren't even connected, or a screen pass where the ball touched the turf before it even gets to the target. I think if you could just cut out some of the streakiness with Zach Wilson and just bank on the consistency, that in turn would lead to more consistent offensive production. And of course, it's going to help next season with Breece Hall, with AVT. No matter who's playing quarterback, those guys are the Jets' two best players offensively. Right, overall, obviously Quinnen Williams is playing at an all-pro level. Garrett Wilson, you got to talk about him as well. But Breece Hall and AVT looked fantastic. They are great players. So once the Jets get those guys back, that'll definitely help. Let's move on.
All is there. Don't get me started, man.
No,
I'm going to start circling.
So but that's why we're talking about they haven't had a run game, and he needs a run game to help him. And when Breece Hall was there, even though it wasn't the sexiest offense, Breece was running down people's throats, and Zach was able to do enough, and they were winning all those games. And now they don't have a running game.
But if you're redrafting right now, Justin Fields is too, right? I mean, there's no
the
question.
way he's played, no question.
Well, I mean,
no question.
But kudos to the Bears to change. I mean, we just talked about, you're like, I don't know if Zach's really a fit with what the Jets want to do. Yeah. Well, you draft Zach, and the team that drafts him, there's a coaching staff where they hire somebody thinking, let's turn him into that. Or honestly, the Bears, to their credit, around the first month of the season, they said, screw it. Let's go the whole Harbaugh, Ravens, Lamar route.
I'll run the heck out of it.
He's been amazing. Yeah. And you heard Darius, Slay, our friend Slay had to say.
Slay, what did he say?
He said after the game that Justin Fields reminds him of Hurts.
Okay, so the last minute and a half of the video is pretty much just talking about Justin Fields and how much success he's having this season, just with his legs and everything like that, which is great. But no, I think Rich was asking some really, really good questions. Like, if the Jets don't feel like he fit the system, then why draft him? And man, overall, just a strange. I gotta text my buddy back and be like, dude, like this threw me through a complete loop. I did not think that Jeremiah was going to come out and say I thought he was just going to come out and just kind of back him and just say, the Jets are dealing with some injuries and that's kind of that. They're going to figure everything out. But I mean, to me, I don't know. That's crazy to me. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. And as always, go Jets.